Hey, welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. Tonight I'm going to do a general message for Aries. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Now, just because I also say that is for Aries, know that if you land on this message and you resonate with it, then it's obviously also meant for you because spiritual energy goes towards who needs to hear the message. So the intention was for that is for Aries, however. So again, it's going to be for anyone that lands on it that resonates with it as well. Now, if you're new to my channel, anything of any relevance to the channel you find in the description box. You'll also find important links there, such as my Patreon link. My Patreon link has will bring you to many different subscriptions. I have a $7.99 subscription to shadow healing coaching that I offer 3 times a week. I also have a shadow healing coaching program that I offer every day. Both coaching programs come with like meditation group practice and breath work group practice. Because when we're healing the effects of psychic trauma, understand we go in and out of consciousness. A lot of people have high highs and low lows. They suffer from anxiety and depression. They have a hard time staying present. They need to recondition their nervous system. And we do that with breath work. And so again, there are manifestations that happen from living in alignment with fear, right? Again, we all form habits and behaviorisms that are going to be in alignment with what we perceive, right? So if you're someone that lives in survival mode, and survival could be psychologically, then you're going to overcompensate in your behaviors. You're going to do things that, like I said, you're going to go a lot on autopilot. And understand when we live in fear, that's the opposite of love, right? And so when we live in fear, we're actually out of alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, and the laws of nature, which is what we're supposed to always be in alignment with. So shadow healing is all about integrating the parts of ourselves that we've detached from by, again, looking at the wound, understanding about the wound, so seeing what caused it, and then actually integrating it. And we can do that, but understand a lot of people still see the effects of psychic trauma even after they've, they say, I know what happened, but it's still happening. The energy's still happening. I've done the healing work, but I'm still seeing. And that's because the energy is still held within your body. You're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. So you may know, but not until you ground it and actually see a different outcome of your situation do you really heal. And that doesn't mean that that situation won't play out again. We all live karmic themes, and those themes continue to play out within our life until we learn them. And learning, again, means that we integrate the spiritual lesson, and so that we are no longer detached from parts of ourselves, that we've integrated it, which means we see the situation differently, we understand it, and then we apply the new behaviorisms and habits to get us a better outcome. And then also reconditioning the body and mind to work together. And that's done through breath. Because again, detachment means that we know what's happened in our mind, but our body is still being affected because your body is your mind's faithful servant. You've conditioned your body to be trained a certain way. So let's get popping. Let's see what's going on within your situation, Aries. I always like to look at the spiritual energy first. Be with you, the Psychic Soul Healer deck. And again, if you want to enter winning a free psychic reading with me, all you need to do is like, subscribe, and say the magic word. Not say it, you gotta write it. You gotta write it in your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, we just correspond back and forth on YouTube to figure out the best time and date that works for both of us. All live streams are done all readings are done live stream. And the reason why is because I believe in, I think spiritual law. What's best for everybody. First card that just popped out, I don't know if you saw it, it's merciless forgiveness. So that's heavy. I just got like, so I feel as if you're in separation with someone, Aries, someone that you really have strong feelings for, and they have feelings for you too, but they didn't treat you right. And I feel like Aries, the theme, that one thing that you're going to, that you see within your life that plays out is themes that require you to have merciless forgiveness. And the merciless forgiveness means that that person doesn't really deserve to be forgiven. If we were to look at things from a logical perspective, we'd say, no, this person did X, Y, Z. They shouldn't be in our life. However, spirit, we're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest, and we're supposed to be learning that we're not separate from God, we're not separate from love, because God is love. God is just unconditional love. God is the universe. The universe is ubiquitous. It works through us, through gut, intuition, inner knowing, but also works through our environment to bring us people, situations, and experiences that are going to grow us and change us. So I'm feeling again like your soulmate, your twin flame, again, a significant soul person that came into your life and they didn't treat you right. And so, but I also feel again that might have grown up with parents that didn't really treat you right, and that you've dated people that haven't treated you right. You might even have friends that don't treat you right. So it's a common theme within your life, merciless forgiveness. Because again, we're down here to learn that we're not separate from God, and we get to learn that through the traits, through character traits, such as forgiveness. And what's the level? Well, an example is how Christ was crucified on the cross and died, and like, who could forgive that, right? I mean, who could forgive someone taking someone out, someone's child? Who could forgive if someone took your child or took your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, someone that you cared about, your best friend, and nailed them to a cross and crucified them and left them for dead, and then expected you to forgive? Well, most of us, we can't do that. Most of us have a hard time forgiving because a person didn't show up for us. A person didn't act the way we wanted them to act. So it's again a soulmate, twin flame, a lot of times, or a significant soulmate, past life karma, karmic mate even, is a deep spiritual connection where we're learning that lesson again with them. Okay, that's the energy. It's heavy energy. It's heavy energy because you've been carrying around that energy for a long time. Determination, but you're determined to heal. And I feel like between creating yourself, you're on your path of to not just healing, but healing yourself through, I'm believing, your career. See what those are. Clear family karma. That's how I knew that you are on your spiritual path. It's again, and that's what I was saying. This merciless forgiveness, a lot of times when we inherit this from our family, well, our parents didn't have good relationships with their parents. So it's again where it's required this, something that maybe our parents didn't learn. They held on to the anger, they held on to the pain. They never learned to integrate it. And so clearing it, this is saying that you're the person that's going to break that karmic chain. You're the person that's going to clear karma, but you wouldn't be able to do it on your own. Unfortunately, you have to live through an experience that mirrors like one that is playing out the same karmic theme. And that karmic theme is, again, merciless forgiveness, someone that is supposed to love you, supposed to show up for you, and they didn't do it. However, you're determined to like break this family karma and to release fear and ancestral karma. And that's what I was saying. Like, so this is the energy that's underneath it. And that's why I said it's heavy energy. And so understand when we're pulling the soulmate twin flame into our relationship too, they also are being required to clear their family karma. And their family karma, it could be, again, that I'm feeling like their parent walked out on them. Their parent didn't treat them nice. Their parent had a hard time showing them love. So now they're in a relationship with you. And even though they can feel that spiritual connection, instead of them giving love, they didn't really treat you nicely. Like I said, because they couldn't handle the depth. They're used to surface relationships. I'm feeling as if, like I said, they're usually can date someone where they have a lot of passion, here for a good time, not a long time, no strings, no commitment. And here you are, you're all about commitment. You're all about what's morally correct. There's a lot of fire and ice energy, hence the phoenix in the back. So it's again transmuting wounds. This is how I kind of knew that it was going to be a soulmate twin flame reading. Even though I keep saying as well, it could be this, it could be that. No, Spirit saying it is a soulmate twin flame relationship because we wouldn't learn merciless forgiveness. When it's really hard to walk away from the person that we're crazy about, that we're fiery about, that we have a lot of passion, but we can't walk away. We want to walk away because it's bringing up all this, fear and family karma, and family karma is behaviorisms and habits and where maybe our person is acting a lot like a parent did, a parent that we didn't get along with. They have traits like that. They're triggering also through their behaviorisms. So not just acting like it within their mannerisms and their character, but acting like it through, again, their addictions and their behaviorisms. So where we're being required to find this unconditional love in order to release the fear and ancestral karma. Why? Because again, your body, you're an energy body, and the air that you breathe is known as spirit, it's known as chi, it's known as, again, your life force, but it's really that energy of spirit and God. It's of God. When we say spirit, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about source. And so it's ubiquitous. And so it's got to be able to work through us. But if we're sitting here with a lot of blocks because we have a blocked heart chakra because we don't want to forgive, then we're going to repeat the family karma. And that's actually what's happened. And that's why, but it's happened for a reason, because you're being asked to clear your family karma. You're being asked to release the fear from the ancestral karma. And that is not just done by the awareness, it's done by the behaviorisms. So I just want to see how this person treated you, what their character was like. Because like I said, this is someone that's been in your life and they triggered you, and we understand already why. Confronting, lashing out at others, everyone is the enemy, working on anger issues. So I feel like this person, I feel like you confronted them. I think you confronted them because you like to give the relationship direction. And then instead of them being able to have a conversation, they lash out, right? They have anger. They get triggered. Like, why are you questioning me? Is more or less what I'm feeling. Anxiety and like making you worry, not making you feel comfortable, which is obvious. If every time you have to ask, and then they're going to get mad and like shut it down, which is the energy that I feel like you were brought up with, that you weren't able to communicate, you weren't allowed to express yourself, and so the person gave you a lot of anxiety. like, again, parent that was like that, gave you a lot of anxiety. And now this person, and that you're just saying, you could be saying, it's sunny out, and the person would flip out, like you're afraid to like express yourself because they see it as if you're confronting when you're not confronting. You're trying to have a conversation, you're trying to set appropriate boundaries, you're trying to make this person see, um, to respect you, and also to understand what emotionally you need. And what they're doing is they're not caring, which is again that energy of what you felt like you grew up with, and then now it's being mirrored within your relationships with a person that's supposed to be like, that's such a soul connection, that ESP through the heart and mind. We know that twin flames have that. There's again, their relationship is in the 3D, because it's from a past life. So it's again because love, there is no time space. It transcends all time space. So we see how strong that love is, but then your behaviorism is not what it's supposed to be. But again, mirroring, if mom and dad are supposed to love me, then again, they didn't love, not the way that you would expect them to love, or not the way that you needed them to love. So we understand why that's happening. Aloof, like again, acting like they don't care. So acting like detached. So I feel like you grew up with somebody, one parent that would rip your head off anytime you asked a question, or made you feel as if you had to walk on eggshells because they were in a bad mood. Again, and the other person, that the other parent might have been act like they didn't care. So there was an imbalance in that. So it wouldn't be uncommon for you to wind up in a relationship where now you take the part of someone that, is the easygoing person, the person that would give in, right? Because that's the soulmate twin flame thought, well, you have such a strong connection to me. I can feel that because I do too with you, but I'm going to act like overbearing. I'm going to act controlling. I'm going to act, difficult. And hopefully you'll just mold to my way. This is the way that I'll set the boundaries. You didn't do that. You didn't do that because they also acted aloof when you walked away. So it was like a double whammy. First, they didn't treat you right. And then they act like they don't care, which would definitely bring up a lot of triggers, a lot of triggers. So let's see what those triggers are, because our triggers are going to establish why a certain, like what actually is, what the behaviorisms and habits are, and also how the story plays out, why the story plays out the way that it does. And understanding why your situation plays out the way that it does is crucial for your healing. I mean, will we look in the hidden truths? Of course we will, because we always want to know what that person deep down really feels. But understand, they could love you to death and not treat you well because they have the spiritual wounds, the blocks. And those blocks cause them to get in their own way. Those blocks cause sabotaging behaviors, especially if your person has feelings that they don't love themselves. Which, believe me, if a lot of times you're getting someone that, doesn't know how to have a conversation, they have a lot of wounds. It means that they weren't allowed to speak their truth, or they think that you're always judging them. That, again, they're seeing things through distorted perceptions, because that's what trauma does. It distorts our perceptions about who we perceive we are, who we perceive the other person is. And it's like looking in a mirror at a fun house and then trying to like maneuver through that mirror. Like it's hard enough to like move left or right. Like sometimes if you look in the mirror, you don't know which is left and right. You can get very confused because it's opposite. Well, with the funhouse mirror, it's even more confusing because everything's distorted. So that's what happens when we have trauma. And so again, this person can feel like, again, oh, well, if you chase me and if you love me that like so much where you abandon yourself, that's what I need. And I say that only because I feel like this person is very needy. All right, let's see the triggers. Kept out. I do not feel involved in anything regarding your life. My opinion does not matter. Yeah, they acted like they didn't care. So that was your trigger. Like acting like, again, not like you're separate, like not important. So we could see why that would be like how you felt. And what was their trigger? Judged. Didn't I tell you, like, this is why they can't, like, have a conversation? It's like you can't have a conversation with this person because they see it as if you're confronting them. They see it and then they lash out. And then also you get emotional because you're like, I'm not trying to control you. I'm not trying to manipulate you. And I actually kind of feel like for some of you, they like the fact that you get emotional because they can't express their feelings. So they like to trigger you. And then on top of it, so then they're triggering you and then they're also keeping you out. So it's a real toxic relationship, but understand it would have to be in order for you to, again, have that merciless forgiveness. Because again, someone that acts like they don't care, like I could take you or leave you, that's very hurtful. I want to see what the hidden truths are. What are the hidden truths? What do they feel about Aries? Spirit, tell us what they feel about Aries. What are the hidden truths? My life is not as together as it seems. So they didn't let you that close because they didn't want you to see everything. I mean, they didn't treat you well because they don't like who they are. That's what it looks like. I am afraid to contact you. Yeah, of course they're afraid to contact you because they didn't treat you well. So they know that you have every reason in the world to be angry. I am becoming a better person. So again, because this is a soulmate twin flame relationship and they're in this separation, I also believe that they tried to maneuver things. They tried to strategize their way to get you to be subservient to them so that they didn't have to really open up their heart that much. So again, they acted aloof. That's how I know that. But I know that this is a soul relationship, a deep one, a strong one that is a twin flame. Because first of all, when you walked away, this person began to do healing on themselves. And why I say that is because they're becoming a better person. I also know that, again, it's mirroring energy where they felt judged. So they grew up with a parent that always judged them, where you grew up with a parent that didn't act like they cared. Is again that maybe emotionally you felt like they didn't care. And so truth of the matter is, they felt judged because they're not happy in their life. They don't like who they are. So their life isn't together. So whatever they showed you, they try to show you that they were this perfect person and they're not. So this is why they acted like they were aloof. And why, again, asking any questions would trigger them to be angry. So you both actually need to clear family karma and really release the fear and ancestral karma. That's both. That's how I know it's for both parties, which again, soulmate twin flame, it's called for because those are old wounds. When you are born into a family with certain karma and those karmas continue to play out, which is just a karmic theme. And that karmic theme for your person Aries was they don't feel good enough. They feel that everybody judges them. They feel like they're not good enough. They have that, and they have that before any relationship. And that happened from the family that they were brought up into. I feel like that for some of you, that the person that you're attached to grew up in a family that was very religious, that was very structured, and the others, if it wasn't religion, it was a culture. It should be you should think this way, you should do this way. And if your person didn't do in accordance to that, they were seen as, bad, or they felt like they were judged because they weren't that way. Where you, again, never felt like you emotionally got what you needed. And then you, with this person, that you can't express yourself, you can't lay boundaries without them ripping off your head because they feel judged. And you can't, they want you to walk on eggshells. And so the anxiety, and then on top of feeling aloof, like, well, not only did they give me anxiety, they act like they don't really care. So again, these are old wounds from childhood that you're being asked to heal. And so understand, a lot of times we can't go back in time. Maybe our mom died or our dad died. Maybe again, the relationship is just so we feel like it's never going to get fixed because our parents are set in their ways. So it's, again, you're getting this person to do it. However, they were understanding that, you know what, they realize this connection. They realize that this is a soul relationship and they want to be better. They don't want to play those games. I love you. So, now it's going to be up to you, because what I see here is you walked away and really they're afraid to contact you because they know that they didn't treat you right. They know that they played a lot of games. But, soulmate twin flame relationship, usually, even though that, what they did was wrong, you do also know that they do have strong feelings for you. And so again, it comes down to, will you be with this person, or will you reject them? Will you reject them when they come back because of everything that they did in the past? Or could you give this person another chance? Do you even have feelings for them? So again, I feel as if I got the Six of Swords, okay? And the Six of Swords here, like, is like help. So I feel like in this instance, I feel like you just take them back? Like, you're not just going to date them. Do I feel like you'll be their friend? Do I feel like you'll be their, I feel like you'll be their friend. You might date them, but you won't be serious. It'll be more like a getting to know, because this person isn't really, even though that they love you, they have feelings for you, they only know how to be from one extreme to another extreme. So it's, again, Queen of Pentacles, stability. I feel like you will be there for them as as a friend, to create like the stability to in their life, to continue to guide them, almost as if you're a mentor or like a big sister. And even if you're attracted to them, it almost seems like that, because you're not just gonna like be with this person. You're not gonna just let them in your house and have wild sex with this person and just go off the rafters, even if you wanted to, because there's a sense that that they still need healing, because they're afraid. They don't really know how to act. They acted the way that they acted because that's what worked with every single other person. With you, they were scared to really get close on top of it, because there is that deep connection. It's not a surface thing. So you're going to have to go slow. And that's what I feel you doing. Like, because you'll say, well, I'm the person that's going to give myself the stability. I'm not really relying on this person. We'll get to know each other as friends. And through that, this person will learn how I want to be treated. But I will give them the stability. And that might mean by teaching them. Now, soulmate twin flames, it's not uncommon for you to have strength where this person has wounds. That's what actually a soulmate twin flame relationship is. They're not your other half. There is no such thing as a half soul. However, you are blocked everywhere where they have gifts and vice versa. So it's like when you come together, it's almost like it makes like as if you're one soul, because you might be really good at being outgoing and social and everyone likes you, but you may have a hard time making money. May have a hard time like with business, where this person is really good in business, but they don't feel, they don't feel as if they connect to anyone, especially if they feel that everyone's judging them. So we can see again different skills, different mindsets, different approaches to life. So they're opposite, but when they come together, right? It's not one or the other, because God is not man or woman, it's both. So this person may have, again, a lot of male energies, and doesn't even mean that they're a guy. It means, again, those traits, those character traits. And they're very grounded, they're very business oriented, they're very all about money, they're all about structure, they're all about being methodical. They're not really fun, they're a little bit boring. Where you may be the party animal, the social butterfly, the creative one, the intuitive one. But we know that you can't just navigate your life intuitively. It doesn't work that way. You have to be balanced. And this person can't just be all about business structure, because life would be so bland and boring. So again, we can see the balance. So where you both would be giving each other support. However, in the beginning of the relationship, I feel as if, you give this person the support by teaching them how to be in the relationship. And it's mainly through how you want to be treated, and by not putting a lot of demands on this person, because you're, again, creating the support for yourself, which makes sure that you're not codependent, which I believe that's this person deliberately likes to have surface relationships and here for a good time, not a long time, because they wind up in codependent relationships. So, and they knew for sure with the connection that you and them had that would happen. So they didn't want to just fly into the relationship and then be flaky, because then they knew that you would never really want them. They care enough about you. Believe me, if they're coming back. Okay, the Empress, abundance. So it's, again, I'm feeling as if they feel as if you are abundant. And I feel in actuality that together you two would be abundant, but they see you as abundant. And why that comes up is because I feel like they usually date like people that are not on your caliber. And so again, abundant could just mean that your life is rich, maybe not even financially, just again, have abundance is happiness. It doesn't just mean financially. And so, like I said, you're stable, that you're abundant, you wouldn't be codependent. So I'm actually feeling like, now remember, this person has to come back and ask for forgiveness. And I feel like they want to do that. Because, they've thought about they're really becoming a better person. However, they are afraid to contact you, but they are going to contact you, because what they're seeing now that you're in separation is that you're really a good catch, that you would create the structure and the stability for them. They see that you're a loving person. That was never the issue. The issue was the intimacy, the trust. This person needs to heal and release their fear and ancestral karma, because again, they probably grew up in it with parents that didn't stay together. They watched a bad relationship. And then now they also got into several relationships themselves that weren't good. And so they really haven't learned how to be in a successful relationship, because they've never picked people that were healed or balanced. They've picked people that were just as wounded as them, that were very codependent and needy. So this is why they never, want to get close, but they're seeing that they could actually be in a relationship with you because you're abundant. And they also, this is a very serious spiritual connection, and that's a big deal. So we're seeing that they learned. We also see the reason why, the connection. And also, if you're willing to, now again, the general message, you all are going to want different things. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times we might want to walk away from our soulmate twin flame, but we just can't. Again, that's it teaches us unconditional love. This is a past life relationship. We knew this person in a past life, and they're coming into this life. That's a familiarity. Again, love transcends time and space, and we wouldn't really know what love was until we wind up with a person that really doesn't treat us well, and we still care about them. There's a way that we learn this unconditional love. We're like, I really shouldn't even care about this person sometimes, or they really hurt me. And I still have feelings for them. I want to be able to forgive this person. But I mean, that only happens through that passion, through that unconditional love, through that soul connection. But again, that's what a twin flame relationship is. It's all of those things. It's a past life. There's a lot of fire, but then there's all this wounds, and you can't walk away. And that's why they say that type of love makes you crazy, because you want them to act the way that you want them to act. You want, everybody has their ideal vision of how they perceive that love is. And we want our person that we feel is really soul tied to us to act that way. And when they don't, it's really painful. But not being able to walk away sometimes is maddening too, because it's like, I want to be able to walk away because this wasn't right, and they should know that it wasn't right. And but all of that is the ego, because at the end of the day, we're wound up back in the same place. I was like, I still care. I can't walk away from this. And that's how we truly learn about unconditional love. And we wouldn't get that type of relationship unless we were ready. Again, so there doesn't mean karmically that every person does it, but there's the opportunity that we are evolved if we will deliberately make that conscious shift. It means that we've obtained enough skills and spiritual wisdom to be able to navigate the relationship. Now, whether we want to do that is something altogether different. What we see here is when they first met you, again, in the beginning of this reading, why you're being called to give them merciless forgiveness is because they didn't want to do it. They wanted to play games. And so, again, now that you walked away, they're seeing how this relationship could actually work out. They didn't give you the time. They were, again, breadcrumbing everybody. But they always knew that this was a soul relationship. It terrified them, though. Because, again, for reasons that I said before, there is something I am hiding from you. I feel like what they're hiding from you is their true feelings. And also that they're sorry. Twin flame journey. And that's exactly what I said. It's like that they have feelings for you. I feel like they acted aloof. They acted like they didn't care. And this person wants to contact you. I believe that they will contact you. They're afraid to contact you because of the way that they treated you. Now they don't know how you're going to respond. They don't know how you're going to act. They're hoping that it will, that you'll forgive them. They want to apologize to you. So again, twin flame soulmate journey. It's again, this person is surrendering their ego. I believe that again, the twin flame soulmate journey, a lot of times flip places. So if you felt like you were the chaser, well, now they're going to be chasing you. And I knew that that was a soulmate twin flame relationship. I kept saying, maybe not, but then it was like all the signs said that it was. I run away to avoid facing my problems. So that is something that you're still going to have to deal with. I wanted to look and just see if there was anything else we would still want to say, how is that relevant? So just because this person has feelings for you and they want to say that they're sorry, they will still have a hard times working out their differences with you, possibly because of they'll feel that they're judged. So not until they build up their self-esteem is that going to change. So that's something that you might want to encourage this person to do, and maybe not say, well, you need to work on your self-esteem, but maybe say, hey, like if you notice that they have a talent, maybe you suggest that they put more time into that talent. A lot of times when we feed something that we're interested in and it grows, it takes on a life force, and that tends to give us our confidence. That tends to create balance in our life, that we're not so obsessive about the relationship. We're not looking at everybody as if they're judging us, because we're actually healing parts of ourselves by getting to know ourselves. This person, again, that you're attached to needs to do still some healing, but it doesn't mean that they don't want to. They do. I'm just telling you what you will have to avoid, because this shows this person is going to come back, but the wounds are still there. And here at the Psychic Soul Healer channel, it's not so much whether a person is going to come back or not. We know most likely if it's not that person, it'll be a new person, but our karmic themes that continue to play out within our life will happen within this relationship, the next relationship, the relationship after, until we heal them. So we always want to look and see what are we dealing with, and what we're dealing with is someone that we have, a lot of passion for and care about, but they still need a little bit of healing, and that they don't have a comfortable time, talking about their problems. So you're going to need to figure out when the best time to talk about your problems. Maybe that wouldn't be as soon as the person walks through the door. Maybe that's, again, not as soon as you find out information that you get angry at, or as soon as this person does something that you rip their head off. Maybe it's going to teach you how to talk to them a certain way, or again, approach the situation a lot more lighthearted. Again, a lot of times we get people that have wounds, but those wounds make us become aware of how we deal with whether or not we perceive rejection, whether we perceive, again, the person's angry, whether we perceive, again, how we deal with the relationship, how we communicate. Maybe we need help with our communication too, because it's not about not talking about your problems. It's about how you talk about your problems and when you talk about your problems. So it's about being mindful. But there's a telepathic bond, which again, this soulmate twin flame relationship, that you both know how each other feels, because there is such a strong bond there. So you would just keep on like reassuring this person, saying, you know what you feel. You know what you feel, because it's, again, they know what they feel. They've tried to end this relationship. They didn't want to like come back and humble themselves. Like whenever someone has to come back and ask for forgiveness, and after they acted like a jerk and now they're afraid to contact, it means that they put a lot of thought in. They've been ruminating on this for a long time, and they want to do it, but they don't trust themselves due to, again, everything that we said. However, they can feel the spiritual connection. They can feel the bond just as strong as you do. So when you both get triggered, because you will, because like I said, this person still doesn't really know how to communicate that well. And you may, again, not know how to express yourself that well. Remember, this person is sensitive, so they're always going to feel that everything's, that they're being judged. And that could be frustrating for you, where you would get angry and get confrontational. You don't want that, you want to be able to always bring it back to love. And so that's going to be a trick for all of you. You know, for certain of you, maybe you'll find that humor works, where other time pillow talk works. It's again, but where you always bring it back to this energy where the person feels safe. Now I'm going to leave it there, Aries. Now, if you resonated with this, give me a like. You know, you can comment the word in the description box. And I said the word so long ago, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was merciless forgiveness, right? That was the first card. That's why I do that. Otherwise, I forget the word of the day. So if again you want to enter into that free reading with me, just like, subscribe, and write the word merciless forgiveness in the comment bar. Now, again, if you're looking to heal the effects of trauma and you want to do some shadow healing, I offer 3 days a week and 5 days a week. Okay. 3 days a week, $7.99 a month. 5 days a week, $9.99 a month. And what's really great about my packages is when you do the Psychic Soul Healer Shadow Healing Program, you're going to do breath work certain days, you're going to do meditations certain days, meaning aside from just the coaching. So, because it's all about reconditioning your body and mind to work together. And so when we live in survival mode, it's not just about, like, again, healing your mind. It's about healing that body-mind connection. And what that does is it strengthens your immune system. Remember, if you lived in survival mode, you've conditioned yourself to live that way, where you're secreting extra, cortisol, epinephrine, it go through your body. Then we wind up having an overactive immune system when we live in survival mode, because we've been living like that. And what starts off as just as adrenal fatigue and things like candida, but over time, it causes bigger things like septic disease, digestion issues, colon cancer, because you can't live in a place of survival, because it means you're living in your mind, you're no longer grounded. Again, trauma happens. When the effects of trauma happen, they don't just heal because you learn what you did. You have to really condition the body and mind to work together. And when you do, you actually can co-create the way that God intended you to. You are able to create your own heaven on earth. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, but definitely check out all the subscriptions, because there'll be something for you, especially if you're looking to heal. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. We have the power to do that. Good night.